everybody, Wyatt Andrews Workshop here, and welcome to the very first video on this channel. Today, the sort of hallmark tour will be of my Griffith Zoo project, which is a, well, not necessarily one-to-one, but it's as close as I can get recreation of the Los Angeles Zoo, which is my home zoo most of the time. I've been working on this since about May, like early May, and yeah, that's pretty much all the stats I have, so let's get started. So right off the bat, we have a little street view. Now, almost all of this is pulled from Google Maps. Some of it's from my memory because Google Maps can't cover everything, and the version of the zoo that Google Maps has is from like 2012, I think. So it won't be completely up to date, but we're not done with it, so we still have stuff to go, and I might visit IRL in the future just to take reference pictures, just to get it better. Yeah, so we're on the street right now, and as we cross the street, we have a little tactile paver by Moblung. I don't know who made all these cars, but yeah, this is the sort of main street into the zoo. I'll show the parking lot when we get to the other side, because I'm super proud of that. With tactile pavers, and then this path is made of art shapes. And then we have these bollards, and then the cars can come through the middle bit here. That's pretty cool. We have these one-way and stop signs. And then we have these custom lanterns, which are made out of the India light at the top, and the New World signpost for the post. Yeah. And then over here, the entrance was one of the first things I made, and it was fun to go back and use some of the new Australia plants. I think this is called the Triodia grass. Yeah, and you spin that around just so the stalks at the top don't show, and it kind of looks like a more round spherical plant. So yeah, this is the entrance. I took after Remnant and named it Griffith Zoo instead of Los Angeles Zoo, because he's doing a San Diego Zoo recreation, but he named it Balboa Zoo after Balboa Park, and LA Zoo is in Griffith Park. So yeah, we'll go turn around, look at the parking lot. I'm not done with it. I still have all this to do, and I'm not looking forward to that because parking lots are not my strong suit. But I actually did enjoy making this part, just because the ramp and the tactile paver color was fun to adjust, and the sort of brick pathway down the middle. And like sort of once you make one section of it, you can just duplicate it over and over. And then these little crushed temple pieces for the, supposed to look like little stones. Some buses, little arrow signs. And then yeah, I made this one side, and then I just duplicated it over, but changed the gardening ever so slightly so it didn't look too uniform. Ooh, excuse me. And then, yeah, I don't want you to see too much of the zoo yet. So yeah, this 50-year sign is still up. I think it turned 50 in 2017, but they have yet to take down the sign. So, you know, I'll take it down when they take it down. But yeah, ticket booth. I forgot to add the ropes, the rope fence, but I'll do that in a bit. And I'm not sure if I'm going to give this an interior. We'll see how I feel. One-to-one, am I right? Yeah, and then I think Moblung made this condor. Because there's a little condor sign on the left in the real entrance. I don't know if he made it specifically for the Zooten Tower project I'm working on with Beyond Your TV, but I just thought it was amazing, and it was there, so, you know, I took it. I'm sorry, Moblung. We have this little custom bench, circular bench thing. I made this for a zoo project that I accidentally destroyed by saving over another file, but I did have this as a blueprint just, so I just thought I'd throw it in because it looks pretty cool. Then we have these palm trees with the little planters, which are the African beads, just colored to be uniform so they don't look like beads. You know, little bike rack. I don't think that's there in real life, but I thought it was a nice touch. And then the art-shaped path continues all the way to the gate. It's much more sort of subtle in real life, but I don't know, I just think it looks better, a little more colorful. It might have been more colorful when they made it, but it's long since faded. for the ticket booth, and then on this side we have the sort of Condor Rescue Center / Discovery Center, and then the Witherby Auditorium. We'll get there when we go to the other side of the zoo, but this is a cool view from here. And then I forgot how many pieces this whole structure was. Let's find out. 1697. This took hours, but I was super motivated to finish it. Let's get out of the G mode. How do you do that? There you go. And then I actually went back and, because I'd been using these India wall lights, but then when the Australia pack came out, there were these wall lights, and I think they look about the same in terms of quality, but I didn't want the same light over and over, and I think these look absolutely phenomenal, so I threw these in. Our sign also by Moblung, I think. He might have gotten it from somebody else. And then the back end of the entrance, we're in the zoo now. Oh, I forgot the membership booth. Yep, membership booth pretty much speaks for itself. In real life, this is where you sign in if you're a first-time member, and then you go over here and redeem it, and then this is the member entrance, and someone is over here and they check your card. I was a member for about a year, but school got busy and I stopped being able to go as much. And then here's your last chance to get a membership if you paid regularly. And then these bathrooms were super fun to make, with the little planks on the plaster, just to give it some extra texture. I didn't give these bathrooms an interior because there's not really a point. And then this wooden plaster pattern here in real life with the wooden benches, and these drinking fountains. I'll try to make like a link of workshop items I used, because I want to give credit, because I'm super proud of this project. Yeah, and then this side is called the Children's Discovery Room. On the inside there's like a big like condor themed playground, because the zoo breeds condors, so that's kind of their big science communication standpoint. And then the Witherby Auditorium. I've never actually been inside here, so I didn't do an interior. I'll have to look it up because I'm actually kind of curious. And then all of this gardening. Los Angeles is in Southern California, and Southern California is an absolute melting pot when it comes to gardening. So I just said screw it and no holds barred. Just any plant that looked like the Google Maps version I threw in, so we got just plants from all biomes all over the world. But you know, there's some rules that you go by, you know, like not too many pine trees next to palm trees because it's a little distracting. But I think there are a couple pine trees in here that aren't Scots pines, because Scots pines don't have like that classic sort of triangular shape. They look much more gnarly and Californian. Then we'll go to the donor wall. Yep. Yeah, so in real life there are, this is the donor wall, and it's like sort of varying tiers of donations from rich people who help fund the new projects they're always making. And we'll go down the names here, because I shout out a lot of people. So we got Mike Sheets, Eben, Beyond Your TV, Ulrich Wolfgang, Crocs, Moblung, Mr. Gomez, Ricey, Weiser, Josh, Haribo, and then my friend Witzeline Flores, who I go to the LA Zoo with a lot in real life to do life sketching, and then Remnant, Fahim Akbar, good online friend who plays Planet Zoo but also does a lot of paleo art with me, so I wanted to shout him out. And then Thrive, Mealy, who does insane custom foliage, and then Estan Wolf, and Masked Bandit. And all these people have either contributed something through their workshop items, or have just been super supportive through critique, or are just really awesome people who you should check out and or follow. So yeah. Then we have these custom benches or tables, and then this is the start of the sea lion habitat. There's a shelter over here which I have yet to do, just because there's a lot of pipes that I don't really feel like doing, but I'll get to it eventually. And there's one. In real life they share this exhibit with harbor seals, but we're not gonna we're not going to have those because I don't really feel like making a custom harbor seal unless somebody wants to do it for me. And then I made these signs custom. You can find those on the workshop. And yeah, I'm super proud of the way I blended the temple pieces and the rock pieces. I think it makes for a very textured, weathered, almost coastal look. And then we'll take the stairs, but first I want to show you guys this access ramp I built, which is obviously there in real life. And this is sort of where the gardening really gets to shine. It's just everything from all over the place. And there's this neat little fountain, which I pressed play. Hold on. If I can reach it, because I'm not in full screen. There we go. Frame rate won't be as good, but it's cool to see the fountains moving. It's a little pond. And yeah, I love all these views with the frankincense tree, and all the cecropia trees, and this especially with the sunlight coming through the canopy, and the manzanita tree, the huge eucalyptus. These eucalyptuses have been an absolute godsend because I was using Brazil nuts and Scots pines before, and they didn't look quite as good. But now we have the Australia pack, so I think this whole update, including the Australia pack, has just been incredible. Probably my favorite so far, just for gardening alone. Although the animals do look really cool. Then we have the second part of the sea lion habitat. More signs. These are all the same base, I just sort of added different colors and text. But they are like this in real life with the sort of red and the vertical. Yeah, so you come over here and there's a drain at the bottom. And I did this, if you saw my aquarium build in Drew's Thornton Hill Zoo, I did the exact same thing. It was directly inspired by this. Where there's a little slit in between the glass so that when the sea lions pass through, the water comes out and splashes into the drain so it doesn't stagnate. At least I think that's the purpose. I could be talking out of my ass. But yeah, then we have these stairs, which are made of limestone because I liked the texture of the rim under the stairway. I know it's not the same color, but I think it does look really nice. And then, yeah, there's a second ramp, just because they're trying to be accessible. And I really like the way these Joshua trees look when they're sunk into the ground, but I don't really think we need those anymore now that we have the triodia grass. And then over here, I won't show you too much of the marketplace yet. Yeah, more signs and a little waterfall. And then over here, around the corner, there's the first map. And then there's a little amphitheater. Well, I guess you wouldn't really call it an amphitheater, but you sit down and I guess the keepers come out to do training. I think there's actually a door here. That's how the keepers get in. But for now I have this little staff, what's the word? Personnel area that guests can't go into. Yeah, and I like the branches stacked. That's there in real life. And then there's this thing. I don't know what it's called, but I guess it's for like if the hill ever is about to collapse, it'll sort of collect it. It's for erosion because, you know, LA has a ton of earthquakes. And then, yeah, there's a little map stand, and then these Domez dumpsters. It's catchy. And then the photo safari booth. Usually, once you're over here, staff members will come and bug you if you want your picture taken, and then you can pay $2 million to get it framed over here, I think. Then we have our second habitat for, there are alligators here in real life, but ever since the update, the alligator mod stopped working, so we just have salties in here right now. There's the little one. There's the big one. He's hiding. There he is. What are you doing? Silly. And yeah, there's the mesh fence, and you can sort of bend it so it looks sort of like it's hanging wire mesh instead of sort of more tight steel. There's this sort of rustic awning. I'd actually redone this a few times just because I wanted the plaster pool to look cleaner. And there's some sort of janky fence work. You can see the tarps sort of hanging over. It's a very janky habitat, but I like it. I'm pretty sure all of this will be gone after the master plan, which is really sad, but I think I'm excited at least. And then the international marketplace. I can't believe they're getting rid of this. This is like iconic. sorry about that. Okay, so we have Reggie's Grill, and we have all these old lion statues that are sprinkled around. There we go. Yeah, Reggie's Grill. This is like the best restaurant in the zoo. If you're ever at the LA Zoo, definitely go here, because this is like actual food, not zoo food, if you know what I mean. Yeah, this really cool seating area. I always like to come here when I'm done after a long day and sit and look at my sketchbook while the alligators are hanging out on the other side of the street. And then a rental shop, and then there's a gift shop, which I didn't do an interior for, but I did take these and I just put them up against the window so it looks like there's actually stuff in here. But there's nothing. And then this awesome drinking fountain. This looks exactly like the one at the real zoo. Bathroom. It's very simple, but I think it's effective. Very sort of Spanish architecture. More gift shops, yeah. And like the gift shops used to be like themed to different parts of the world, but I don't know if they're still doing that. And these are the only flags we have. They're this shape in real life, I think, or at least this size, and I think they look good for now, but I hope we get more. More gift shops, more sort of themed crates, just so it gets that marketplace vibe. And then on this side, we have the two marketplace gift shop entrances. Yeah, and these are usually these are lion statues, I think, but we only have one lion statue, or at least one limestone one, so we used the elephant and the hippo instead. This ATM. I wonder if someone will make me a Bank of America logo, because right now it's kind of empty that way. And then over here, Haribo made me this amazing California flag, because I'd been using a sort of janky makeshift one with the wooden bear sign instead of one actually made of gutters and pipes. So thank you so much for that. And then he also made the wavy American flag. Hop back down to Earth. Over here, this is all backstage stuff. I didn't really spend too much time on it, so we won't focus on it. This is an administration building, another lion statue, and then this is the Dinosaur Garden, and it has a bunch of plants from the Mesozoic era, so a bunch of ferns, a bunch of cycads. I don't know what that tree in the middle is supposed to be in real life, but it's jungly, so... And then, obviously, enormous shout-out to Carlos for these freaking amazing dinosaur mounts. We have a Spinosaurus and a Triceratops. In real life, they aren't skeletons. They're sort of these cute, very janky bronze statues. But A, I wanted to shout out Carlos, and B, I think these look better, honestly. And we have these neat leaf signs. And then on this side, this is more administration. Oh, right, this is the Andrew Coleman Center. I forget what Andrew Coleman's job is, but it's important, believe me. And then on the other side of the Dinosaur Garden, we have the Zoo Grill. Definitely not as good as Reggie's, but, you know, in a pinch. And then we have the Children's Zoo, which I actually finished yesterday, because I wanted to get ready for this video. So we'll go in this front bit first. If it will unfreeze, that'd be awesome. Oh, we have a stray archer. How you doing? That's awesome. Yeah, this is also by Domez, so definitely get that if you want to scale your work. And over here, first habitat. This used to be for pelicans, but it's long since been emptied out. But I put the pelicans back in just because they're a nice placeholder. These are by ZZ. He makes a bunch of awesome custom animals, especially marine ones that I used in Drew's aquarium. Yeah, we'll go on the other side after. And then all of these seats and tables are by me. You can grab those on the workshop. I'll link those. This bit of custom foliage is by Thrive. I think it looks really good. Oh yeah, and then the I forget which kind of tree this is in real life, but I think a monkey puzzle looks awesome here. It's some sort of Scots pine, or big manzanita, I forget. It's a conifer, but I think the monkey puzzle looks really good. And yeah, right off the bat, I think you can tell this is a very sort of ugly, but in a good way. Absolutely no flack on the LA Zoo for this. This was made in 2002, a year before I was born, and it's so desperately 2000s, janky, just bright colors all over the place, no color palette, no theory to anything, and I just think it's kind of adorable. And it won't be here forever. They're going to get rid of all of this soon, but I'm going to miss it very much because I spent a lot of my time here when I was little, especially on field trips. Yeah, so over here, I think these are statues in real life, but I think the animal wall decals look really good. And then these are the, at the bottom, these African animal head mosaics. I just kind of sunk those into the ground, and it makes like a nice tiled look in the back. And it kind of looks like the one in real life. And then these are the animals in booths. At the zoo, they have these for like small animals like snakes and rabbits, and a keeper will be holding them, and people will come up and get to touch them. It's pretty neat, but it's not really my thing. Yeah, and then in here, we get our first look at the ocelot habitat, and then you see the backside of this waterfall into the pelican habitat, and there's like a little desert cave house thing in here, but I didn't do an interior for it because there's just nothing, there's no reference pictures for it. It's kind of an obscure part of the zoo. I know there's an axolotl tank, and there's like a little small cave that kids can crawl through, but I just didn't really feel like putting it in. But we did do interiors for some parts, so get excited for those. Yes, that's the ocelots, and then the booths, and then this bathroom. I'm super proud of how this came out. A lot of elevation changes that I think a lot of people noticed. It looks very convincing in my opinion. I'm proud of it. And then over here, we missed the first window into the ocelot habitat. Let's see if we can find our ocelot. You'll see what I mean. Yes, this is all the ocelot. It's very deserty, kind of, very brushy. But then there's our ocelot. It's a baby cheetah. We had a little cheetah habitat off the zoo grounds so we could breed baby ones, and it's the closest thing that looks like an ocelot that doesn't climb out, because we had a baby jaguar in here and it climbed out immediately, and that was just inconvenient. So, and I think it's split between ocelots and porcupines. They don't share it, but it's divided into those two habitats. But this is all for ocelots in our version. And then all of these signs are by me. You can pick them up. And they're very color adjustable, as you can see. So if you want to change the color. And then these mesh roof structures are by Haribo. They're part of a bigger aviary structure, but I just sort of plucked these out and put them at the top because there is mesh here in real life. I think the slat pieces might be more realistic. I'll try both and see how it goes. See what I like more, that is. Yeah, so this part's glass. Hello. Hello, fake ocelot. Yeah, and then you can't see their shelter in real life, but I just needed a final window into the habitat, so I think this looks neat. I don't know how realistic it is, though. I might get rid of it. And then on this side, we'll actually go up here. This is super 2000s. This is called Kids Corner. I have no idea what's in it. It's not operational as far as I'm aware these days, but it's still there. It's still kicking. And then speaking of just fully defunct attractions, this is the Adventure Theater, and oh no, do not enter, someone arrest me. And yeah, it's this big blue amphitheater. I have no idea. It might not even be not functional, but it's definitely not being used right now. That was confusing. So yeah, more just insanely bright colors. Absolutely no color palette. That's 2000s for you. And then on this side, we have the prairie dog habitat, and you can come in on the side, and kids, adults, I guess adults fit, can crawl into these little portholes and check out the prairie dogs, and they'll come right up to you. I don't remember. Yeah, this exhibit's now closed. Or it's not closed, but there aren't any prairie dogs left. So it's kind of just sitting there. This whole area is kind of just sitting here. waiting to be demolished, but I don't want it to because nostalgia. And over here we have Muriel's Ranch. This little hand sanitizer. I notice a lot of Planet Zoo builds don't have this feature when they're trying to do petting zoos, but it's extremely important. We have this fence that I borrowed over from my build in Thornton Hills, but I just recolored them. And this is Muriel's Ranch. It's the LA Zoo's petting zoo. And it's primarily goats, but they also have a pony, a duck, and a few other creatures. But the only other domesticated animal we have is the llama. And then these are all the female doll sheep, but they look like goats. You wouldn't be able to tell if you ask me. So I think they fit perfectly. And I love coming in here to, I sit on these logs over here and you can draw and they'll come and nip at your sketchbook. And it's a little scary, but I like petting them. They're fun. Yeah, and they have their shelter over here, a bunch of tires, a bunch of logs for people to sit on and play with. Yeah. And then over here, this is where staff... Oh, I forgot to cover this up, and I'll leave you guys to it. But yeah, I was going to cover this up because in real life staff come into this building, and then on the other side there are stables for the animals, and that's like their night area. But for convenience's sake, I just put it over here. I might change that later. And then on the other side of this big building, there are a bunch of aviaries for like parrots and magpies and stuff like that. And then this used to be like an interactive game that kids could play with, but it's long since been turned off, much in the energy of the rest of the area. Yeah, and then this has a green roof, which I think is super cool. And then this is the stable building, which I just learned its purpose. It's kind of neat. And a bunch of custom palms by, well, Mealy made the first version of this, but then I just made them taller. That's all I contributed, but I needed a really tall palm that was sort of straightened out, so I just used that. So thank you, Mealy. And over here, this is the magpie aviary. This one I know is for the magpies. And then on the other side is the desert trail. And in here they have Gila monsters and snakes. And there used to be a hedgehog, but that's not there anymore. This whole area is sort of in a state of slow decay, but it's not like troubling or anything. They don't really need to fix it because it's on its way out. And then over here, I don't want to spoil that. So we'll go around. We'll go up and around. I guess we can get a whole view of the whole thing. I think I did a pretty good job. And then we'll go back under the sign around this cool mural. I sort of put my own spin on this because it doesn't really look like this in real life, but I like my version. Because in real life it's like all the animals and then the plaster sort of envelops them. It's like all around them, but we can't really do that in the game. We can't really like outline stuff unless we want to spend hundreds of pieces on switches, which I don't really feel like doing. And then the Winnick Family Animal Care Center. The whole area is named the Winnick Family Children's Zoo, but I didn't have enough room on the sign, so the Winnick family gets their name here. And in here it's pretty much a sort of part small mammal house, part animal hospital. So in here are sloths in real life, but we have a pangolin and a... How did this happen? Okay, I guess the lemur wants to share. That's fine. No shame. I support you guys. Yeah, there is a lemur habitat over here, but I guess I forgot I moved them to the wrong habitat, so that's okay. But in real life there's a sloth, but I used the pangolin because they're both sort of slow-moving animals. And then, yeah, most of the exhibits are in this fashion, just sign up top and then a very simple utilitarian climbing area with a bunch of planted trees. And then those custom benches are also by me. And then this is the actual lemur habitat. I don't think there are lemurs here in real life. It's like the sloth, and then there's fennec foxes, and fennec foxes, saki monkeys, agoutis, which are like a small capybara, and a few others. It'll unfreeze. That's awesome. And yeah, this is so. Yeah, we don't have very many small mammals in the game, so these work. We got lemurs in this one, and then this one's empty just because it's too small, but maybe it's for like pygmy marmosets or something. And then there is a window into the animal hospital. Oh, I just missed it. They had a monkey in here. They were taking care of, like in the game, not in real life. And then it's the. Oh yeah, who made this? I forgot. I'll link it. I really should write these things down. The blooming century plant looks absolutely amazing. And then here we have the aardvark. He has not moved from his corner. He's very stubborn. This isn't the first time I've gotten a notification that says the habitat's too small, which I understand, but I needed a small mammal to fill this, so. Yeah. And here we have the capuchin monkeys. I wish they would climb. The animals need to climb way more. You're a good aardvark, but like, really? Why are they on the ground so much? That's not cool. That's not realistic at all. I just wish they would, that's all. It would really help finish this if the animals were clambering around. Is taking a full-on bath in his water bowl. That's fine. Yeah, and that's the other side of the desert trail. And then over here, they have Gerenuk antelope. Gerenuk, whatever. But we have Thompson's gazelle. I think it's... No. They used to have Gerenuk, but now it's Duiker antelope. But we just put the gazelles in here because they're kind of small. They don't look like they'd be able to jump out of this. And then in this one, we have the red panda. They look absolutely miserable. I think it's like the less space they have, the less they climb, but I don't know. I think that's kind of silly. I think this would be perfectly fine for a red panda in real life. It wouldn't be ideal, but... Or no, because I think red pandas need a lot of sun. So, some small arboreal mammal would enjoy this. A monkey, I guess. Like these monkeys. They'd be in the trees right now, but they're not. Because the developers didn't feel like doing that. And then I like how I combined the rocks with these other temple pieces. I think because I wanted the rocks to be a little more angular and fake looking, so I sort of smashed these in. I think it creates a cool effect. So yeah, that's the animal care center. So we'll go overhead the whole children's zoo. There we go. Yeah, and then there's all this sort of chaparral gardening sort of in the back with these brambles and then the crowberry bush and then some ash trees sprinkled in. And then you put sand in between and it creates a very convincing sort of chaparral look. It looks a lot like what you see on Google Maps. And then we're going to go back to the zoo grill. And there's this little outdoor seating area. And then down here, they have a big whale fossil, probably from around LA County, I forget where. But yeah, I put in Carlos's sperm whale skull. I think this is the sperm whale skull. It might be his orca skull. I can't really tell them apart. Yeah, and then we'll go down there. And then the sweet treats booth, they have like soft serve ice cream. And then I put this archer to sit down, so whenever I'm making custom benches like these, I can get this guy over and I can scale them that way. The sweet treats booth. This sign is by Weiser. And then we'll go back over here. And then we'll go down this ramp, which took forever. And then this is a seating area outside of the GLAZA building, which stands for Greater Los Angeles Association of Zoos and Aquariums. And I guess this is for meetings? I don't know. I don't really care. I actually really like how this came out. I haven't really gotten it look from this angle, but I like the Spanish vibe to it. And then over here we have a desert garden. Again, like Southern California, just absolute melting pot of different types of foliage. But then over here, this is an actual eucalyptus garden at the zoo, and it looks just so much better now that we have real eucalyptus in the game. And then over here is where like they hold events. At Christmas time, they have like a reindeer pen over here, so maybe we'll put that in when the time comes. Who knows? And you go down this path if you want to get out, and then over here. Yeah, so over here and then over here, there are little stands for like either face painting or getting your caricature, or I think this one's actually an almond stand. But yeah, they're just sort of temporary, easy up stands. I think most zoos have these. I feel like not enough people are putting caricature stands in their zoos because that's like a hallmark. That's a hallmark of zoos. Another animals in U booth and a little view of the chaparral in the back. And then over here, Jesus, I need to make a new one of these. These are the black-necked swans. This is their habitat. I think there used to be a waterfall here, but it's not anymore. And over here, we'll change the lighting because it looks better this way. Boom. This is the meerkats. I used to have an aardvark in here, but it couldn't really move around with all the rocks, so we'll just have to wait till Frontier gets off their butts and makes meerkats. And then, yeah, this sign's custom made, part of the sign pack I put on the workshop. A lot of very spiny foliage for the meerkats. And then backstage they spent 0 time on. It's just a placeholder. And over here, this bathroom kind of has a story to it. This sort of rooftop cover thing was made by Mr. Gomez for his carousel, but the LA Zoo has a very similar top to it, and I didn't feel like making something like this, so it took me like an hour to like recolor it and then put it on this circular bathroom building, and I think it looks really good. And I can copy paste it throughout the whole zoo because all of the bathrooms in the zoo look like this. And over here, we have the flamingos. I really love this habitat. It's super pretty. I know, especially now with the eucalyptus. The eucalyptus was so important. I'm so glad they're here. That was like all I was missing for the Planet Zoo's foliage, but they also gave us so much more with this pack, including the agaves. That is like 50 flamingos in here. I really ought to cull the herd a little. But yeah, I love the layered jungle foliage in the back. It's super pretty. And then that is it. As you can see, we've got it kind of planned out, working on the rest of the zoo. We originally had hills back here just like these, but we were like literally about to run out of space, so I had to clear them out, and then just to make room for all these exhibits. So this will be for the giraffes, this is the lions, the chimps, gorillas, orangutans. This will be the Australia section. And then as you can see, I'm already mapping out the reptile house. It's called the lair. And then all of this in between will be for the elephants. This will be the South America section. There's a big aviary back here. What else do I need to do? I need to sort of clean this up. I need to finish the parking lot, but I'm really enjoying where this project is going. I wanted to do a recreation just because I find people recreating zoos or their home zoos to be some of the best looking projects in the game. And I wanted to sort of test my skills a little bit in recreating stuff. And it gives me a lot of blueprints to use for future zoos, like benches and tables and stuff like that, for zoos that aren't based in reality. So I hope you guys liked my first video. Let me know if there's anything I could do to improve sound quality, because I only have a built-in mic on my computer. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll post updates regularly, and I'm super excited to get this channel going. I'll see you guys.